we're gonna just get started and if I could when they join in. So this so is titled Girl Chat and it's about open relationships. So let's just make this disclaimer. If you are in a relationship, it's judgment. If you don't like being in an open relationship, that's fine too. Don't be like, oh, cancel Tati for next week because we're talking about open relationships, you know? Like I always tell you guys, we're going to start off with the quote. So this quote kind of corresponds with what's going on with the episode. It says, trust is the glue of life. It is the most essential ingredient in effective communication. It's the foundational principle that holds all relationships. So I feel like that goes with open relationship. You need trust, you need the communication to have an open relationship, which I'm not really down for. But if you want to be in that, you can be in that, you know? And of course, the song episode is Gallus Capella or Mr. Vegas, whatever. And we just go jump right into it. Oh, sorry guys. So I was supposed to have Taylor on, but she bowed out last minute, which is a-okay. As a professional,
I'm reliable.
we tune in. You always have good friends in your hand, right? So I'm like, let's just turn it into a girl chat, and that's what we're gonna do. So we're going to talk about, again, open relationships for people that's just joining, and your thoughts on it. Would you be in an open relationship? Would you not be in an open relationship? And we're just going to have some insight on it and how her life is going out. But I will start off. Me personally, I cannot be in an open relationship. And this is no offense to anybody who has what I'm about to say or whatever case may be. I am scared, as one would say, to catch any kind of STDs or any STIs or whatever the case may be. I'm not with that. I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of that group. You know, if you do have that, like I said, it's nothing personal against to you, but yeah, but it's like you said, it's too messy. It's way too messy. But that's just not my cup of tea. And what people don't understand too, they like open relationship that you could talk to who whatever that. Nah, like let's be specific. So an open relationship is having multiple sexual partners and you still with this one person. No. Because what people don't really understand too, that one person that you're sleeping with have other partners as well. So it's just like, no, that's not for me. Like that's just not my cup of tea. And like I said, it's too messy. And I'm territorial. I'm jealous, as you would say. I don't care. I can openly admit that. And I just don't want. I don't want to. How she want me to press her back in? Yeah, and I just don't want to be a part of that little group. And men is like, when men start having an open relationship, they go to an extent that is beyond it. Then they start having babies and everything. And that's one thing that I can't allow. Like, if we have an agreement to be in an open relationship and you're having this partner, I don't expect you to go be wild and flimsy with your private part and have a baby in the middle of it.
Wild influence.
Yeah, like you want to go play duck goose with everybody, and now you're it because now you got a baby. I can't bring that to the table. So, what is your input on open relationships, Rob? Would you be in one? Why?
No. No. No, but one of my friends is in a poly relationship. So, I mean, open poly, she has multiple partners, and just having a conversation with her, I also call her my teacher bestie. She's very open about having a poly relationship. So I ask a lot of questions like, what does that look like?
Right.
And from my understanding, everybody has they all have conversations with each other. Everybody's on the same accord when it comes to what safe sex looks like, what partners look like. Like, there's an understanding and there's boundaries. So within this circle of people, their relationships, like their dynamic, they have had these conversations, and everybody is not sleeping with everyone either. I think so that's important to also understand if that's the kind of relationship that you want. And I just only ask because I ask questions, because then it comes to question of what's the difference between being in a polygamous relationship and dating multiple people and not dating and having sex with them. I think people often get that confused, or we blur the lines, like me dating or getting to know someone or going out with them doesn't mean that I'm having sex with them. And so what does that difference look like?
Right.
And just having conversations with her, it's like also having an emotional relationship with somebody. And you can, I guess, you know, cheat on someone emotionally. It doesn't have to be physical. It cannot be sex, and everything could be emotional. So having those conversations with her, there are physical relationships that they have with each other. And then there are also people within this dynamic that just have emotional relationships. So like two of the girlfriends, they hang out together, they do stuff together, they eat dinner together, but they do not have sex together. So I guess, what does that look like in an open relationship for some people? And are you having those questions and setting boundaries? It's a no for me.
Right.
It's a no for me. It's a hard no for me. Only because there's gonna come a point, I know myself,
Right.
and I'm not gonna be able to.
Yeah.
What are you hearing? No.
Thinking like y'all doing stuff on the extra side, like y'all not in a relationship behind that. Like it just goes too much. I overthink. So me like being in that kind of dynamic is gonna be uncomfortable too. Cause now and then in my head too, like what you doing me you did with her. Like if you bring something new to the room, like oh you got it from her. Now you think
That's not saying that you're insecure, but it's one thing that I have learned through having a conversation with her is that you have to be absolutely secure and sure of yourself and like who you are as a partner, but your partners do as well. And there will come a point sometimes where there is just tension or confusion, or you might see that one person has more time than the other, and how do you handle that? But there has to be a lot of security in yourself and you being comfortable with knowing that you're in a relationship, but that you may also have time that is alone because your partner has another partner.
right. And two, now okay, so and you have AC, right? So now say you have another child, right? You have another child and you and that the child's father is in a relationship and he comes to you and he said, Ryan, like I love you, but I want to try something different. I want to spice it up. I want to try an open relationship. But
Who's saying this?
Your partner, your new partner to you, like this is what I really want, and you know, and this is gonna be a deal breaker for me. But you already have a kid together. Do you stay in this relationship and be like, okay, we're gonna work it out, or that's a
fuck no. You've seen me walk away from something easy. I won't be crying, but I'm crying on my way to work, on my way to the gym. No, absolutely not. I'll figure it out. I will no. That
yeah.
You know, but also, even though things change, right? Like over the course of a relationship, you know, people are evolving, we're ever changing. So I hope that nobody's staying the same. And I understand that your likes can change, but I just think before we, you know, I'm a little traumatized. I got a little PTSD, and that was diagnosed by a therapist. But I just, if we are going to get to the point of having a child or entering into a relationship, we have to discuss what hard boundaries are, where we're willing to be flexible. And some things are just non-negotiable. Like I know now that I'm not going to want an open relationship. So if that's something that you could see yourself wanting later on down the road, then I'm not the person for you.
Right.
But I think that goes in any aspect. Like, are you willing to explore sexually with your partner? And the answer is yes, then okay. But if you know that you want the same dynamic, same routine, you're not willing to explore, like I think these are conversations you should have up front.
Right.
Because some things are just a hard no.
Yeah, open relationship is a hard.
And you're not getting a baby out of me and think you're about to be like, oh, but I want another girlfriend.
Right.
You what?
No judgment to the people that are in open relationship, that I just cannot. And I feel like people who want open relationships are selfish and they're scared of commitment. Like if you're gonna be with me, be with me. Why do you need to be
okay, but see, here's the thing. Even though it's not a yes for me, I will really say this. Like seeing my friend being in an open relationship, it's not because she's scared of commitment. She gets things from both partners that I don't want to say make her feel whole, because I believe she's a very whole being without anybody. Like she's made that abundantly clear. But I think it just also goes back to that like time where you're like, I'm dating this person, or I dated this person and I dated this person. If I could just combine them to create the perfect whatever, like we'd be set. And I'll speak for myself. I've been in that predicament before where I'm like, wow, he has some really good qualities and attributes. He has some really good qualities and attributes. If I could only combine them. And essentially that's what she did, but she just has
Two different people.
He has that from two different people. And I know from speaking from their relationship, she's also not physical with one of her partners, also because he just lives further away. So like when she does see him, I think there is a physical component to their relationship, but a lot of their relationship is built on communication and emotion.
Right.
And she gets a lot of that emotional, I guess, satisfaction from one partner, whereas she gets the physical needs from another. But also keeping in mind that the one that she's physical with has another partner. But she's aware of that other.
See, that's too much for me.
She's
That's just too
aware. It's like, I wish she could be a part of this conversation, because the way she explains it, it's still not for me. But like, she doesn't have an Instagram. But it is very interesting just to hear the dynamic, because I also think when people think open relationship, they're like, yeah, my girlfriend wants to go fuck this person tonight so she can go pick them up and do that. And I know for them, that is not the case. That could be for some people, but like, because of health and safety reasons, right? Like you don't want to catch anything. Like everybody that she's involved with, everyone's been STD tested, used protection, birth control. Like there's a lot of moving parts.
right.
So I think it's too much for me.
Okay.
It is.
So
it's too much for me, but
now we have a situation now. We're just gonna speak hypothetical.
No, stop
now
putting me in these hypotheticals.
No, even myself. Right now we're in an open relationship. Right? But now your partner goes find somebody else. Now that somebody else now wants to be in a relationship with this person, but he wants you to cut all ties. She wants you to cut all ties to your other partner.
What?
And like, so basically, I'm used to Issa come relationship. Issa go find Sharon. And now Sharon want Issa all to himself, and she want Issa to cut me off. It's like, I feel like that's where it will go lead to. Like, y'all start your own relationship and then cut ties with me and be like, oh, nah.
No, that's messy.
Too messy, exactly, messy. It's too messy. It's too many up and downs, because females are emotional. So now, like you said, she is getting different things. So now she's getting like the intimate part from him. And you know, us females, we fall in love hard, and we think that sex is love, and then now that's what we die for. Like, okay, he really wants me.
You're really generalizing here. Take me up out of this.
I did generalize. I did generalize. It's like, it is just, ooh. And then, wait, because I was doing a lot of research on this topic.
You got people thinking that I want to be on social media right now. I can't, because I just keep seeing people that I engage with follow me thinking that I'm going to be on here. I just want y'all to know that after tonight, I'm deleting the app again.
That's my truth. So, they said that people who are in open are more happier than people who are in a monogamous relationship, which is, of course, I can see where they're coming from. Because you're giving you got like that 80 people. I got my own 80, and I have to split between multiple people. So like, I can see where you get it from, but then it's like, now when you're ready to settle down, do you really want to settle down, or do you want to still do it? It's very hard to be, I'm gonna stop the relationship, and I really want to you, because now you're gonna start cheating.
Yeah, but I've never been in an open relationship before. I don't know.
And then they said that you can cheat in a relationship.
You can't what?
You can cheat in a relationship. It be like, how?
Yeah.
What we doing, right? I
like, oh, she doesn't have an Instagram, so I cannot tag her, and there's no other way for me to get her in on this conversation. But it's true, because like, without me naming names, we're gonna call her teacher. She dates someone. This guy, we'll call him R. R has a wife. R's wife is very much so aware that she and him are dating. Her and the wife also go out and do things. There is another partner that teacher has that has nothing to do with the husband and the wife. But they all have an understanding as the four of them that it is the four of them. It's a square. So now you go ahead and you add a little fifth shape. Now it's a pentagon, and that's not what happened. there has to be a conversation had, to my understanding. You're just not giving your partner, and you're not like, hey, because in that sense you are cheating, because everybody in this relationship is aware of each other. You have an understanding, you have guidelines as to how your relationship works, how you spend time together, the things that you do together. And if she was to say go get another girlfriend and doesn't tell the rest of the group, I don't know how else to put it, that would be considered cheating.
Mm.
I'm not
See,
telling you because I fully understand. I'll be in her asking questions like, girl.
right, because like they said, cheating is like, okay, breaking an agreement, and then the breaking agreement is like it's whatever the rules are, whatever the rules in your relationship are. So like the agreement is you can't get emotionally attached to girl, you can't start dating her, and yeah, you cheating. But then it's like, how do you know if you get emotionally attached?
It's just a sexual relationship. Are you actually trying to spend time with this person? Are we doing things like with a third person in our family? Like,
no. Like no, that
the things he does, like, oh, blah blah blah's coming over and the wife is doing laundry and he's making dinner and I'm gonna do blah blah blah. And I mean, in terms of having hands to help, I want that level of. No, I can't. That's it. It'd be nice to have some extra help. If somebody else would come cook dinner and do some laundry for me, great. But
I don't want you to I don't want you to sleep with my boyfriend for me to get that. I go hire Molly the maid for like, hi Molly the maid, come clean for me. You're not sleeping with my boyfriend. I don't want that. I don't need that in my life. That's too much negativity. Like, and too like I could open too insecure for something like that. I overthink too much. I'm too insecure in territory, and you know,
like having these conversations with her, there is a level of security that you just, when she talks about it, I'm like, yeah, I don't. What therapy session do you need for that? I don't think my insurance covers it, and I'm not sure. My mind I would always be thinking like, I'm out of town. What are y'all doing?
facts.
Like, are
What are you guys doing?
Doing things together? But I know that they do things separate. Like husband and wife have time as husband and wife. Husband and girlfriend have time as, or boyfriend and girlfriend. Wife and girlfriend. Like, I know that they spend time together.
What, you're married, so it's like, okay, like even in marriage, what was the point of getting married? You still want to have other sex. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you want to do that, go do that. You just want me to be here.
But I think that only applies to people who believe in marriage as a union between two people.
Correct.
Like, I think that also depends on what your definition of marriage is, what you want your marriage to look like. For me, I wouldn't want a third party in my marriage, but that's just me. And it also depends on how you're upholding your standards of marriage. Like, I want a husband that's going to lead our family. Like, I want to be able to be home and be submissive to my husband and what that looks like. And I don't mean like submissive in sex. Like, I want to be able to find certain roles in the household and let him lead, but also let God does first. And that is when you introduce a biblical aspect to marriage. And everybody doesn't look at marriage as that type of union.
Right.
So I think it depends on what your definition of marriage is and what you're looking for in a marriage.
Right. Because that's what I want. I want something that's mine. Like thou shalt not cheat. That I want that. Like I feel that's what it is. But I don't know. Like I said, each his own. If you want to be in an open relationship, perfectly fine. Just protect yourself at all costs. Literally protect your body. Your body's your temple. Make sure you protect that. But it's like, I don't know. Your confidence in yourself have to be at an ultimate, like here.
Yeah.
Like here.
To be sure of who you are as an individual, because like I said, just from watching her in her relationship, like, you have to absolutely be able to be confident in yourself as a solo person, because there is going to come a time when you don't have a partner or partners present in the way in which you like. Because even though they have a great relationship, she's like, yeah, he got a girlfriend once and me and the wife didn't like the girlfriend, so she had to go. Like, and those are a lot of moving parts for me. I think that those are a lot of parts, right? Like, I have to consult with you and you to decide that this is not the right decision for me to make.
It's just much agreement. Like, so it's in two. Like, if you want a date night, like you, like, how would I want to be with you? But then they've got and date night at the same time or something like that. Like, who do you have to choose? Your wife or the other one? Like, now you got to prioritize. I feel like that's two. Like, if you're in an open relationship, you have to prioritize your significant other before, and then let that one. But yeah, like I feel like that. Like, and I want to be zero, no higher. So if I say we're going here, F her. We're not doing that. Like, this is what it's gonna be. But that's just me being that territorial, jealous type. And I think that's a trait that can go away.
Any relationship, right? Like, we're not even talking about open relationship. I think in any relationship, romantic, platonic, like, you have to know who you are as an individual and the things that you can withstand and what you have the tolerance for and what makes you feel secure and what doesn't make you feel secure. I don't care what anybody says. There is a point in time where you don't feel secure about everything, and that goes for everybody. And I think you have to know that about yourself. So being very attuned to yourself and self-awareness is super important. And then also know who you are as a partner. Because the reality of it is that even in a monogamous relationship where it's just you and one other person, there will also just be times, like, no relationship is at 100 all the time, right? Like, there will be times where somebody is giving more or giving less than the other, and you have to know how to be secure in yourself to handle that. But I think especially when you're introducing other people, because you're constantly worrying about the other. And when I hear her talk about how she's going to do certain, like, yoga by herself, and I'm going and taking myself out to get sushi and all of these things, like, it's just me time because they're having their time. Sometimes the question is, like, are you having this time because you have to, or are you having this time because you want to?
Right. I'm somebody else to the situation too, and see her as well. Hopefully she joins in. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I just stand on two. I'm just too selfish to.
But I think if you know that about yourself, for you to try to push yourself to do anything other than what makes you feel comfortable, you would then be setting your whole relationship up for failure.
Right.
If you know that you are not made to be in an open relationship because you would be jealous, you won't feel secure, but you're trying to do it anyway, maybe because you feel like that's what your partner wants, that's where resentment comes for him. Resentment comes for the other person, right? And then that adds to the insecurity because you knew from the beginning you didn't want to do that. So now you're forcing yourself to do something that you know you don't want to do.
Right.
You have to be aware. But if you're somebody who's like, oh, I'll give this a try and see if it works, then at least you're open to the idea of it working or it not working, and there's less of an expectation. But if you know this is not for you, why would you sign up to do it?
Right. Like, why would you put yourself through that much drama of, like, doing it? But some people, some male and men, be like, okay, I want to please my partner. Like, I want to,
it's not like
so I'm gonna do it. And then at the end, you're only hurting yourself. Like, you're suffering yourself because, like you said, if you don't know who you are yet as an individual, but you kind of do know, but you secretly don't want to tell your partner. Like, I don't trust that. Like, I don't want to part of it. And then you're slowly, like, mentally, and I feel like that's more mentally draining. So, like, yeah, you have to be physically strong, but mentally strong to be in an open relationship. Because if you're not, it's not good. I'm trying to add somebody to the chat too. She wants to join in. You gotta excuse me, guys. I'm not really too good. Yeah, I'm not really too tech savvy with the thing, but
I love you so much. I just want you to know that.
I'm telling her to request to join the live because she has a lot to say about it too. Yep. But no, it's not even something I would want to even try. Because, like I said, I feel like people who, not knocking people who are in open relationships, is just like it's just a commitment thing with me. I'm very big on commitment, and it's like if you
But I think you have to also consider what commitment looks like to you, because there are people who are in open relationships and they are committed.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like they're committed to their partner?
Their partners.
See, like partners. That's plural. I mean,
committed to monogamy. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, because just because people are like, I think, like, I don't know. I just keep the only relationship that I have as an example of this is this one person. But when I think about it, she's committed to her partners.
Mhm.
So she's not actively seeking someone else to date or to be with. She is committed to the situation that they have right now. And if it doesn't work, she would leave it. But she's committed to where she is. So she's not sleeping with other people. It's the people within their foundation. Now it's more than one person, but there is a level of commitment there.
Right. Like, okay, like even when you said like she's sleeping with one person, which is her partner, to me, I look at it like, okay, she's fully committed to who she needs to be committed to. But then it's like, is that fair to her? Like, to know like, okay, my partner's going out sleeping with everybody else and I'm just here chilling, like living my life the way I want to. But like I said, if she's okay with that, yeah, but then I would look at it like why are you okay with that? Like having like your partner going out having sex with multiple people. Well, that one person. And then again, it would play back to my insecurities. Like, okay, how many times you do it with her? How many times you do it with me? Like, it plays a part. Like, I would really start overthinking the situation, and then I would end the relationship.
I agree. I'm an overthinker, so that wouldn't work for me. But
okay, now, like, so if you was in an open relationship, even though it would work for you, what would be your rules?
I don't know, because I wouldn't be. Are you listening to me?
So we have another person join in. Hey, Tati with a Y.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all.
So
hey
Tati, what is your point of view on open relationships?
That's interesting. So I was watching it, I'm at work, so I was listening in, tuned in. I personally have two outlooks on open relationships, right? If I'm in your typical monogamous relationship where you have your male partner, your female,
right.
I don't know that I would want to share. But as most of my friends know, I am bisexual, and I always imagined, and this is maybe more of a fantasy, I guess you could say, but I don't really care. I would live in a house with a husband, or just
well, and there you go.
Internet went out, but yeah, I can see that for her. I can see her like doing that, because like you said, that's it. Let me see if I can let her rejoin again. Okay.
Now y'all know I'm in the woods out here. You have to bear with me now. So you said what would be my rules?
Basically, like you say you had 2 point of view. So one, you would do it, and what's the other point?
So my other point is, if I was in a relationship with one other person, I would not want us to step outside of that relationship. I just wouldn't, whether it be male or female. I would want that to be like an agreement, even if it was just like a one-time, like threesome, right? Like that, that little extra razzle dazzle in your relationship. Like, don't be calling that girl when I'm not around.
This part,
yeah,
and that,
like, don't be calling nobody when I'm not around, because that's a problem.
About the razzle and dazzle with me, because the minute somebody wants me to razzle dazzle them, I'm a pass.
That's the thing. Everybody's different. So you might feel like a little razzle dazzle is cheating. Me personally, I don't think it's cheating if I know about it. If I know what you're doing, it's not cheating. If I condone it, then it's not cheating. But some people feel like,
well, if I know about it, okay, like that's what we are in agreement. But if I find out about it,
exactly. So like my thing is like, just check in with me. If you check in with me and I know what you're doing.
Well, what does a check-in look like? Like, hey, I want some extra coochie tonight. You go with that?
Like, okay, so it can't be disrespectful, right? It can't be within,
ask you nicely, like, can I please have some extra coochie? I'm just just trying to figure out what the fuck you're saying.
I don't know that I would want it to sound disrespectful. I would want it to be something like, all right, listen, this is our go-to person, whether it's me or you, right? This is our go-to safe person. We know all about them. We know the ins and outs. They're not questionable.
Right.
We don't have to think about things.
Extra coochie.
There you go.
But here's the thing. If
Vice versa, you might want some on-call dick. Like, you might want to go do that.
No. But
to me, it's no different than having multiple people who you talk to on a regular basis. Is it not?
But that's what me and Tati were talking about. Just because you're talking or dating to multiple people doesn't mean you're fucking them. I have dated multiple people and gone out with them and enjoyed their company and not had sex with them.
But it also depends
so not
on what it also depends on what your term of an open relationship means. Right? Everybody's open relationship meaning is different. So you could have an open relationship meaning you let people take you on dates, right? But you're not sleeping with them.
Right.
But then you might have other people who, like, we in an open relationship. They got 5 boyfriends. I got 6 girlfriends. Like, oh, really? Okay, that's not for me. But congratulations.
Right. Hey, my work husband is here. Go away.
There's so many levels to it, you know?
Yeah, it is. But, like, if you were in an open relationship, your rules, like, what's your rule? Like, and now, like, if you break these rules, like, it's all, like, do you break up the relationship or just close the relationship? What is it?
So it depends. I think everything in life has to be established from the beginning. Like, and as partners or whatever
I told you need boundaries immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. Yeah, you cannot start.
Don't make them up as you go.
Right.
But I think we learn that in everything, in parenting, in relationships, at work. If you don't implement your boundaries from the beginning, then you're not giving anybody a standard to uphold.
Right.
Like, I cannot, for example, let my kids come into my classroom and whip their phones out for the first 4 months of school, and then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, your phones can't be away when you're... What are you talking about? You didn't have that boundary.
It's like playing Uno, where you got a different rule everybody you play with. Like, no, we don't play like that over here.
You can't do that. You have to have your boundaries immediately from the beginning, because if you don't set boundaries, expectations, parameters, you can't introduce them later and be like, oh, well, I didn't know this was going to bother me, so now this is a boundary that's been put in place.
Right.
No. Think about what's going to bother you and start setting your boundaries.
Facts. And that's for open relationship, closed relationship, marriage, everything. Like, that's how
anything in any relationship, romantic, sexual, platonic, work, children, you need boundaries immediately. You should have some type of structure in place, because if not, when you just start introducing things, it's going to be confusing. You're going to be upset when that person isn't following the boundary that you want to put in place. But if you don't set them from the beginning, what reason would anybody have to adhere to them? You know, like,
and I mean, if new stuff comes up along the way, that's why communication is also key. Communication and boundaries go hand in hand. If I don't know that that's not a boundary for you, I'm not going to know not to cross it. If I don't know not to cross it, then you can't feel disrespected.
But even communicating,
if you don't make
you
that
have
clear,
to make sure that when you're communicating with whoever your partner is or whoever the person is, that they're not just listening to respond or to have a response, but you have to comprehend, because communicating and saying that you hear me and comprehending what I'm saying is not the same thing. Are you just listening so that you can have a rebuttal, so that you can have something to say, or are you listening because you're trying to comprehend what it is that I'm saying? Because they're two different things. You can hear me and not understand what I'm saying.
Right. So, like, y'all know me. I won't be in an open relationship. But, like, if I was being in an open relationship, I want to know what the number one rule is. You can't have sex with nobody else.
So
and see,
you want to be in an open emotional relationship? I'm just trying to.
You could be in an emotional relationship because
but can you? Because how would you feel if your part, if you were saying that you can't be in an open relationship, period. Now you're saying that you can be in an emotional relationship. How are you going to feel if your partner is emotionally confiding in somebody else and they feel like they can't come to you? That wouldn't add to the insecurity.
That's why, where, like you said, the boundaries should come in force. If you feel like it's too much, like, if it's something within our relationship, you come talk to me. I don't want you to vent to her about our personal relationships. That our personal problems. That's why we were setting clips. Like, you want to talk to her about, like, whatever, about your day or whatever the case may be, like somebody to confide in a little bit. But
get a therapist.
Huh?
Get a therapist.
Sure, I mean,
okay, but that's okay. So there's meanings to everything, right? So what I think you're saying is you're okay with your partner going to another female and saying.
That's just position, not in real life.
That's what I'm saying. You keep talking about hypotheticals. Nobody wants to hear about a hypothetical situation.
Yo, you're the worst.
About real life.
married.
To me, you're emotionally invested in somebody else, and I am not expecting that of you. I think if you're in an open relationship and there's the understanding that you have multiple partners, that comes with every aspect of a relationship: mental, emotional, physical, fine. But to have an emotional relationship with somebody because they feel like they can't have it with you, like,
that's true. Yeah, because listen, everybody say the female, like the mind, once the mind goes, the body follows. So I don't know how it is with a man. That's what I would like to get a male perspective on it, because men, and they always say it's all sexual. Like it's nothing about, I'm not emotionally attached to them. It's all about sex. But it's like, how?
But the
because
thing
for
about
me, if
men
you
is
can mentally,
but
emotionally
the thing
stimulate
about
me, my body will
no
do the rest.
no, that's not a man's mentality though. For men, it's about the chase. It's about the all of the before, and it just happens to be, if the sex is good, the sex is good. Because if it's not, they're done. They don't need anything else, right? But they all, and I'm only speaking because I've had a male perspective on this, because I have gone through this specifically with a specific person. And the one thing that they were honest about after our relationship, right? Because they wasn't honest in the beginning, but what they said was, there's a lot out there, and some women are always good at giving the chase, right? So like, they let a man, call them. Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, good morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, men need that entertainment. And something that I respected was the fact that they would say, if I was getting certain things from you at home, I wouldn't have needed certain things outside. And I respected that, because as a person who, maybe you're tired, maybe you really didn't, maybe you ignored them that day, right? Maybe they said something and they was hype about it, but they didn't communicate that to you. But they called the next person and they was like, oh my God, like, you get what I'm saying? So having honest conversations with your partner is very important. Because sometimes we think men cheat, because it was easy. No, we made it easy. And that's where we as women have to come into play, and we have to look at ourselves and say, what did I do that led this to happen? What did I do? And I'm not saying blame yourself.
I will not. I will the fuck not.
But see,
but I'm not gonna put myself as the fool. I'm not.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I'm not talking about you being the blame for that person cheating. What I'm talking about is you being the blame for your actions that helped your relationship to separate from each other. When you get into a new relationship, everything is all glitz and glam. You texting all day, back and forth, right? Yes or no, ladies?
Yeah,
we texting back and forth.
I feel like I'm not the person after that.
No, but I'm saying, in a new relationship, you're giving that person your attention, right? You're giving that person your time. Your energy is new, it's fresh. And after a while, when you get into a situation where you're like, oh, all right, I'll text them back, like, or whatever, or you don't give as much attention to certain things that you did in the beginning. Like, you're not giving out compliments. Maybe they don't notice you got your hair done. Maybe they don't notice, you don't notice that they got a haircut. Like, these are things that you're supposed to always pay attention to in a relationship. And a lot of women sometimes like to jump straight to why the man cheated, or the fact that he cheated, and we don't take a second to self-reflect. And if you take a second, there's times when you listen to your partner, they give you answers, and they say to you, oh, you don't remember that day when I came home and you had an attitude? So it shut him down instantly, because they don't want to get barked on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so got too comfortable.
Yes, exactly. You stop doing what you did in the beginning. And men are very specific creatures to certain things, and we don't listen to them all the time. We just don't. I'm not on here to be advocating for the men now, don't get me wrong, but I did learn a few things from my relationship when my partner was able to come back to me after the breakup and say, these are the things that I was looking for that I didn't get. And I was like, all right. That it hurt to hear it, but it was true.
Come back to you, right? They come back to you and they be like, I want to be with you, but I still want to be with this person I was with too. Open relationship. Or will you be okay with that?
I don't know about that. I don't necessarily know that I could be, if we were in a committed relationship and they were in another committed relationship. I don't know that I don't know that could work 100%, because like you said, when I was listening earlier, you were like, you have to be able to provide, and you have to be able to separate time for each person, and you have to be able to give your undivided attention. What if I need you when they need you?
Right.
What you gonna do? You gonna be on three-way? Like, hold on, let me call you right.
Now you playing like Dogi Dogi Diamond. Like, who is it? Like I to be
zero. You brought it back.
Like, if it's not your children, okay, but it has to be.
So that's another thing that we also, don't mention, is that who's priority?
Right.
Who comes first? Who comes second?
Right.
I like that. Somebody said open relationships is really a rich man's sport. I felt that.
Facts.
And somebody else said that if they got enough money to send me on a shopping spree and I don't got to hear from them every day, I might be like, all right, I'll call you in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
Money, give me money, but what? Like, yes.
But I also am not that person. I think that, you know, monetary things come, but they don't make the relationship. So I would want to be able to come home and see you. You know, when you're in an open relationship, it's like polygamy. When the husband spends 2 days over here, 3 days over there, I'm like, what?
No, them 2 days is gonna
I gotta
drive
wait my turn.
crazy. It's gonna drive me crazy because, like, what are y'all doing? Especially if I text you and you don't text me back, I gotta pull up. Even though this is the agreement, it's just in my mind. Like, I know for myself, I cannot be an overthinker. I just overthink too much.
It's not.
And it's not gonna work.
For everybody.
It's
not. It's not.
Not built for me. I'm not built for that. That's not my lifestyle. Open relationship, did not have Tati in the middle of that.
Yeah,
No. But some people, like I said before, Ryan, some people feel like they're happier in an open relationship because they're getting blessable. Of course, like, I get this from not putting up. But then it's like, once you're talking about adding sexual stuff in the mix, that's where it starts getting real, real messy.
It's messy.
Now you have a sexual attraction to somebody. Now you're getting more territorial. You're getting more like, I don't want to share this person, and I have to. Like, now you're settling, like, because I want that person so bad, I'm going to continue to just do this, and then now you end up messing yourself with the back burner. It's just a continuous, ongoing, emotional, draining thing that I don't want to be a part of. Like, people out there who, if you are in it, it's no judgment to you guys, but me.
To each his own, you know, to each his own. Everybody's different. It might work for you, it might not work for some. It might work for this one, not the other one. And the thing about it is also knowing what you can handle. You know, it's okay to say, I can't handle that. Like, you know, I just can't. And it's all about the level of commitment, because how far is your open relationship going? Is it going a little outside of the commitment? Is it going way outside of the commitment? Are we seeing multiple other people or one other person? Are there children involved? Because there's children involved.
Hey, she's gonna join back in, but she has a comment. She has some good point of views, and she's older than us, so when she joins back in, she can give us some drop little gems on us if she joins back. We only got a little bit of time anyway, but like I said, I can't. And like, one of the other rules is just like, no babies. Do not get nobody pregnant.
See, you heard me just say, are there kids involved?
Yeah.
That changes the game too, because now you got a whole nother level of protection that you feel like you have to give to that open relationship. Because what happens if there does become a kid involved? What happens if you agree to that open relationship and the kid comes about from that situation? Do you feel like that kid is a part of your life now? Is that kid a part of your family? You know, there's women out here who would disown a kid quick. That ain't my child. That ain't my child sibling.
Facts. But I feel like the kid have nothing to
siblings. His papa is a Rolling Stone. Yeah, boy. Out to Ace's newest sibling.
Yeah.
She's going to hell, and I decided not to go to hell with her today.
I'm not going to hell. I am not going to hell. I'm just saying.
I decided to be a Christian today, not going to hell. But yeah, like. And I feel like children are innocent. They have nothing to do with it. I have to be here. But it's like, that's on the man part. And I feel like, honestly, because that's my deal breaker in a relationship or whatever, a child, like, you bring a child, that's it for me. So if that you go out and you bring a child into a relationship, that's over. So I guess you can have her. Yeah, I could go be a family somewhere else. Because that's not something I'm willing to accept.
You don't even ever talk about an open relationship.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like, I've been with Isak, going on 10 years now, and it's been real.
What's that like, to make it to years, plural?
It's hard. Very hard. Harder than hard. But it's like, it's communication. The communication, like, and then one thing, too, how I met him is not how he is now. So people change within the years. And then me personally have to admit, I didn't change with him because I expected him to be that same person who I met. So he's doing all these changes and I'm still looking at him like the person I met in college. Like, no, he's growing into a different man. So
I
I
seen I
for
seen
that.
a comment, and I don't know if it was Ayana or somebody else, but she divorced her husband after so many years because she said it was Ayana,
Mhm,
because she said he showed me how he loves, and it was up to me
mhm.
to decide whether I wanted to be loved the way he loved
Right,
or whether I wanted to
right,
go. And I was no longer happy with the way that he loved me.
right.
And so I had to let go because I was no longer
Yeah.
happy. You can't change the way a person, and it's not just about love, that's just in general. You can't change how a person operates with you. You have to pick whether or not that's what you want to do. And if you don't, then you have to let them go. And you have to be okay with that, because that person who you met 7 years ago, 10 years ago, is not the same person that they are today, because they've gone through different things, they've experienced different things, they've matured, and
Mhm.
maybe you guys outgrew each other,
Right.
and that's a big part of understanding relationships too, you know.
I think Tyler Perry said it, like when he was playing Medea, you gotta love people through their seasons.
Yep.
Go with people season. Once you go through the seasons, then you know. Like we're still going, surprisingly after 10 years, we're still going through those seasons. Like his season, but everybody's season different. Like his anger is different from my anger. How he shuts down and he don't want to communicate, and then I shut down sometimes. I don't want to communicate. So it's two people that do the same thing. It's not gonna it clashes sometimes. But
Ethan
Right.
is talking about you.
yeah, he got the baby. Oh, guys, I did say that last episode. I did say that he probably sleeping. That I was going to show you guys my son. So I'm going to Easter. Bring Ethan. Tell him I'm not getting up to show. Yeah. So I said I was going to show you guys his last episode. Oh, he's sleeping. So Easter said he's not gonna bring him because he's sleeping.
Oh,
Wait, my baby's so
the pumpkin.
yeah. Anybody who haven't bring him. He anybody who didn't tune in my last episode is pinned to my page. The NICU mom, like my son was born 5 weeks early, and I said I was gonna show you guys him last week, but I didn't know it was really a time frame. On Instagram Live, I'm not really a social media person, but like the live thing. So stepping out my comfort zone a little bit. Hurry up.
If you would pay attention,
Oh, he's up.
he knew people
Hi, Pop.
wanted to see him.
Look at the
Look
baby.
at him.
Everybody say hi to Pop.
Tell that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say that in front.
Patsy, you know what I'm gonna say, right?
What?
He looked just like his daddy. He looked like his daddy.
So maybe next week we hear about commitment relationships. Yeah, we can do it. That's definitely a top. You gonna join in? If you gonna join in, we can set it up.
Okay, it's a committed relationship. She
Huh?
read in the comments.
Yeah, commitment and relationship. We can definitely talk about that because ooh,
So,
because everybody like I said,
as a single parent, I got things to say.
well, yeah, commitment is always something. But we're about to head out, guys. But not next week, 3/29. March 29th, I'll be having Ashley on, and that topic is on domestic violence. She's a domestic violence advocate, and she will be dropping some gems, helping us to have a safe plan installed, and resources. She's gonna have her personal information out. If you are in need of anything, she can help you around the area. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
What he looking at? Look at his eyebrows.
Well, I'll tune into the next episode. I'll be getting ready for LA.
Yeah. You say hi?
Oh.
Wow.
And he looks just like me.
Well, gotta go, because that's not true.
No.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right, bye guys. Thank you.
Bye. Love y'all.